I've been just chillin'. Spent years spinning my wheels and searching for a villain. For real, all I needed was a rhythm, a beat, a cell phone, a notebook, a feeling, a reason to relax, rushing through the past, anxious to the max.
Hey yo, and welcome to episode 16 of Limitless. We got a real special episode for you today, making a camera rover inspired off the various slider dollies you can find online. I've made a handful of rovers in the past, so I had most of these parts lying around, but I ordered some roller skate wheels to design around. In the end, the rover is a mix of laser cut and 3D printed parts with electronics that are potted in hot glue. I wanted the design to be modular, so you could swap out different gimbals and things. This first one floats a GoPro inside a ring light. The idea begins on the bed of the CNC machine. I wanted a way to add motion to my time-lapse videos, and after doing some research, I decided to try and make my own version. I started out making a chassis that would mechanically follow a raised path. However, I thought it would be more fun to have an RC rover that could also have program paths to follow. Since I'm looking for smooth, repeatable motion instead of speed for this application, I decided to drive each wheel with a continuous rotation hobby servo. I'm using roller skate wheels because they seem to be commonly used on all the manual dollies. I make each axle assembly with a laser cut MDF backbone and then 3D printed mounts for the motors and wheels. I used a wooden dowel as the axle and capped the end of the shaft for support. The body of the rover is a laser cut box designed around an old laptop charging battery. I've used this battery on a few different builds over the years, and I like it because it has 5 volt, 12 volt, and 18 volt outputs. Each axle assembly is mounted to the body with a large shoulder bolt. I captured a nylon lock nut inside a 3D print to provide a solid pivot point while still allowing for easy disassembly. For steering, I gave each axle assembly its own 180-degree hobby servo. I picked an anti-backlash gear off McMaster and modified the model to fit on the steering servos. I then took a larger gear with the meshing pitch and modified it to fit on the axle assembly. I designed a docking station on the top and began working on the camera mount. I had this large 12-volt ring light which suspends a GoPro nicely, so I decided to design a gimbal around this. It uses 2 more hobby servos to pivot and tilt the GoPro. All the servos are controlled with an Arduino. For the RC control, I am using the PS2 kit from Robot Shop. It includes a dongle and an adapter which is wired into the Arduino. I need to do some work yet programming the sensitivity to get smooth motion from the sticks, but here is an example of using it in auto. Stay tuned for the next episode.